Hey there guys, this is Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine in the WHS 11 News First Alert Storm Team Weather Center. Going to give you an update on Hurricane Idalia, where it's heading, what it's happening now with that storm here on this August the 29th, 2023 at 10:07 p.m. So we did get a recent update with that storm moving to the north at about 18. Winds are now 110, so that's up 10 miles per hour from just a little while ago earlier this evening. So that puts it just 1 mile per hour below a major Category 3 hurricane. So the National Hurricane Center's predictions from a couple days ago, very accurate so far, not only on the direction but the intensity, with it likely going to become a major Category 3 hurricane, which we need that to get up to 111. Not something we want, but it looks like something that is going to happen. Just let me make sure we've got some good audio video, and then we'll get rolling. We'll take a look at the Futurecast maps, the hurricane track, look at how much rainfall we're talking, and the latest track here from the National Hurricane Center as well. And all right, looks like we're good there. So the peak of Hurricane Center typically mid-September. I know it starts, June 1st. It starts right around the beginning of summertime, but things don't really start to crank up until this time of the year. You've got peak warmth in the Atlantic Ocean, in the Gulf of Mexico. You got plenty of fuel for these storms. The winds in the atmosphere start to relax a little bit, so you get the ingredients for these storms. And they have been lining up recently. There's been a few over the open waters of the Atlantic Ocean. And this is the one that's going to be the first direct impact on the United States, around the Big Bend of Florida, it looks like, this time around. And again, we'll look at that track here in just a second. So I think this is just kind of the beginning of the peak of the hurricane season, which is fairly obvious. But that'll continue through September, October. Sometimes we can get some strong ones that also continue into November. So just kind of buckle up. This could just kind of be the beginning. Hopefully, when it really starts to rear up and we get really busy into the peak of the hurricane season, we want them to stay over the open waters. But as we all know, that's not always the case. All right. I was just going to sit on this and just kind of play it out and wait for some folks to get on board here. We are at 10:09. Thanks for watching our live stream here. Again, I am Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine. Let me go ahead and switch over to radar, just kind of a different view of this storm. We can kind of zoom in and zoom out, and I'll go graphics full screen so you can see that. And so the center of this storm, and there you can see that rotation, that spiral in the center of that eye very, very clearly now. And so there's Tampa Bay, and the center of Hurricane Idalia is about 115 miles almost directly west of Tampa. So we're going to clear that out of the way there. And again, very easy to pick out the eye right about there. Just an impressive storm, again, that's been gaining strength. And where is it heading? It's going to be continuing on its north direction and maybe take a slight curve to the right. So it's heading that way. And again, if you're just tuning in, Category 2, but on the very strongest end of a Category 2 hurricane, likely to become a Category 3 pretty soon. Just got to get those wind speeds up to 111. Right now at 110, moving north at 18, so moving at a pretty good clip over the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Here is the track. You can see hurricane warnings from Tampa over to Cedar Key and all the way back around as you get into the beginning of the Florida Panhandle. And then you've got tropical storm warnings there around Fort Myers, and then on the east coast of Florida, Daytona Beach, that goes all the way up towards Savannah, Georgia, and the South Carolina coastline. So there's the Cat 3 status going into Cat 3 later on tonight. That first little notch there, that's at tonight, or say early Wednesday morning, 2 a.m., with wind speeds at around 115 miles per hour. So there is landfall. This is showing near Perry, Florida, Big Bend area of Florida, northwest of Cedar Key, well north of Tampa at around 8, 9 o'clock. And then it moves and decreases to a Cat 1 hurricane over southeastern Georgia. That is as we head into the early afternoon, so right around midday. All right, slowly taking this forward a little bit here. That has it crossing Savannah at around 10 p.m., 9-10 p.m. tomorrow evening, near Myrtle Beach as we head into early Thursday morning, and then by Thursday afternoon moving out into the Atlantic Ocean. So quick pass by and cruising right along the coastline there of Georgia and South Carolina as a tropical storm, Idalia, by that time. But again, around sunrise tomorrow morning, making landfall there around the Big Bend of Florida. Now let's talk about rainfall amounts. So you can see the different colorations here. You go from yellow, that's an inch, then you go to red and the darker red, the kind of maroon, then you're in the 2 to 4 inch range. And then you get into the blue, you're 6+ inches of rainfall. So there could be some 5 to 10 inch areas. And again, from the Big Bend area of Florida, southeastern Georgia, near Savannah, and then the coastal areas of South Carolina. So there could be some inland flooding. And then of course when you get a major hurricane, you're gonna get all the hurricane impacts around the area where it makes landfall and some distance out as well. So that means you could have some coastal flooding, obviously, from the storm surge. You could have a storm surge over 8 foot in some areas. On the right side, it's called the dirty side of the hurricane. That's where you get more rotation. So there's going to be the tornado threat. There's actually already a very large tornado watch. If we go back to the radar, I'll put this up full screen. And notice that all the way from Fort Myers to Tampa and all the way around, in that red area there, I would say it looks like almost half of Florida under that tornado watch. There's just a lot of low-level rotation with any hurricane, especially the right side of it. The left side of the hurricane is typically the safer side. The right side has more momentum, forward direction, rotation. That's a big problem area. So tornado threat also high on the list for those folks, our friends down in Florida. All right, that is about it here at 10:15. I'm going to start getting ready for our WHS 11 News, The Night Team. Thanks for tuning in here on this Tuesday, August the 29th, 2023. We're going to have some updates early tomorrow morning as it makes landfall on Good Morning Kentuckiana with Storm Team Meteorologist Colleen Peterson, Sam Gabrielli. Tune in to those guys tomorrow morning. And then when you see me tomorrow, back in the daytime, in the afternoon and evening, this storm will already be likely heading towards Savannah, Georgia. So moving pretty quickly here. Hope everybody stays safe. There's going to be a lot of power outages in those regions. Utility workers are going to be very busy heading that direction from, I'm sure, many states across the United States. It's amazing how they get together and help out different parts of the country and different power companies. So we wish them well. We hope they stay safe, and everybody bracing for this storm. Have a great night, and we'll see you later.